Angels Care Home Health, serving Hayes and the surrounding areas, is a Medicare-certified home health agency providing quality skilled nursing and restorative therapy services to patients in their homes.
I would recommend Angel Care to anybody. They have really helped me regain my strength.
Angels Care is there to help 24 hours a day, and all services are covered 100% by Medicare for patients who are eligible. Angels Care Home Health. We serve patients.
I couldn't have survived this without Angels Care.
Eagle Community Television presents Community Connection with your host, Mike Cooper.
Hello and welcome again to Community Connection from Eagle Community Television. Thanks for watching, and thanks to our producer, Jeff Durall. We're in the President's office at Fort Hays State University with President Dr. Mirta Martin as we talk for our monthly visit with President Martin about activities and events, not only at Fort Hays State, but surprisingly enough, in China as well. Fort Hays goes international.
That's right. And this was our, I think, 10th or 11th year that we have gone to China for commencement exercises. So I left Fort Hays after the first ever two commencement exercises that took place here. As you know, we had a really good problem to have, which was too many of our graduates, so we had to split the commencement exercises for Thursday and Friday. And then we have two large partners in China, Shenyang Normal University and CS. And so we left here on Wednesday morning.
Literally almost the day after graduation here.
2 days after, actually, from graduation, we had a regents meeting. So went to Topeka, then from there got on the plane to go to China. It's only 16 hours, you know, so a real short trip, and got there. Of course, we lost a day going there. So we got off the plane and literally had to go into commencement, which was a wonderful event. We had about 350 students graduating in Shenyang Normal. And then had the week in between until the CS commencement, and we were in a different city every other day visiting with partners, which is critical. You know, the last time I went, Dr. Hammond was kind enough to accompany me with Cindy Elliott, who's our assistant provost for strategic partnerships, and it was what I call a howdy doody trip. You know, we just went to two universities and hello, how are you? This is the new president. Nice to see you, goodbye. This one was a business trip. We took the new executive leadership team, two of them, Dr. Graham Glynn, rolled into Hayes, America on Tuesday with his truck and moving from New York, and started unpacking, and then kiss his wife and son goodbye and say, make sure that the house is done by the time I come back. No, just kidding. I'm going to China. But it was imperative that he see what the China operation is all about.
The new provost, he's going to be an integral part, obviously, of the plan.
Exactly. He needed to be there. And of course, you know, Dr. Joey Hatch had joined us about 3 months ago, our new VP for technology. And because of a myriad of things, not the least of which is the firewalls between our countries, she needed to go there so that we could strengthen that ability to communicate. So she went as well. Deborah Prideaux joined us. She is the Executive Director for Alumni Affairs and also Governmental Relations. And, you know, now that we've been in China for 10 years, we've got a considerable number of alumni.
It's time to expand the alumni base, isn't it?
That's exactly right. And that's something that's new and alien to the Chinese. They don't have the concept of alumni. They don't have the concept of giving back, of reinvesting back, as we do. And so she was there for that fertile new ground. So it was very much of a working trip, and it was a grueling trip, but it was a wonderful trip because we met all of these partners that we needed to establish and solidify our relationship with. We signed a couple of new agreements, and I'm very happy because it diverts us from our traditional offerings, which have been primarily in the business area and in the leadership area. We are now going back to our roots and to some of our programs of distinctions, the arts and music.
Excellent.
Yes, I'm very, and the Chinese art and music expands over 5,000-6,000 years. And whether it's the drama or the art, paintings or the music, is phenomenal. And ours is phenomenal. And we could learn a lot from each other, and I think that this is an area that we could both expand upon with our current partners. And then, of course, we finish our trip in commencement in CIAS, and that was actually 2 graduations. So actually there were 3 graduations in China, because Fort Hays had its own graduation, and we had close to 1,000 kids in China for the Fort Hays graduation. But then they also have their university graduation. That was about 5,000.
Wow.
And that was really interesting because I had the privilege to be asked to be the keynote speaker at that commencement exercise. And so, you march in, not unlike we do here, but you look up in the rafters and it's not parents, it's all students. You see, in China, unlike in the United States, parents celebrate the rite of passage for a child is when they go to college, not when they graduate. So what was interesting is that you look up into the rafters here in our own commencement. When I looked up, it was filled with parents celebrating their kids' achievements. In China, of course, there were 5,000 students graduating, so the rafters were filled with kids and very few sporadic parents. So, it was an eye-opening trip. It was a trip that affords us now the opportunity to fold what needs to be done in China to strengthen our curriculum, to strengthen the ability for us to go across the ocean via technology, and fold all of that into a re-engineering. That is what the leadership team will be working on the entire summer. Is the faculty, the staff, and the leadership team, as you know, were very, very diligently and very hard last year to create a new era for Fort Hays State University. So now is when the proverbial rubber meets the road.
Are there similarities, President Martin, in the graduation events? For example, can you hug each of the students?
Yes, absolutely. And, kids are going to be kids regardless of where they are. And, they come up with their bright eyes and bushy tails, and they're exciting, and they're jumping up and down, and they see you, and they've never seen me in their life, and it's like, and it's great.
First the ceremonial bow.
But then, of course, the
the
ceremonial bow, because they stop halfway. There's as their names are being read, and of course it's in Chinese, there's an official that stops them. And so that there's enough space between them, the person that is coming to see me, to shake their hands, hug me, whatever. And so as they begin, the first thing is they bow. So you have to bow. Of course, half of the times the girls' hats fall off because they don't have the bobby pin, so that's an exercise in putting it back. And then they come, and invariably it's like, can I hug? And after the first couple of times, they figured that they didn't have to ask. So,
but that joy of the students translates to the joy of the president being able to face-to-face meet the students.
Absolutely, and what's really neat is after each ceremony, we spend probably an hour and a half taking selfies, taking pictures. It's like, there were just rows of these kids wanting to take pictures. And as I said, commencement and moving day are probably my 2 favorite time of the years. And kids are kids, graduates are graduates, regardless of where they are. And their joy and effervescence just comes through. So I was very thankful to be there.
So you get back, and it's time for a celebration of the Fort Hays State Foundation.
Yes. And so, let's see, I touched down at 2:30. I got to Hays at 2:30 in the morning, which was 2:30 in the afternoon, my body time, or 1:30 in the afternoon, my body time. And then that next day, we had the 70th anniversary of the Fort Hays State University Foundation, and it was celebrated through the President's Club Gala. And this was a really special year because it was the largest event that we've ever had. We had about 376 donors who came to Fort Hays. And what was neat is, you know, it wasn't just people from Kansas. We welcomed people from Nebraska and from Colorado and from Oklahoma. So I was very, very thankful. It was, I don't mind telling you, it was a bittersweet day. I walked into the office that morning on Friday morning, and I had to, as you know, send the email that I didn't want to send. I normally, I'm not a procrastinator by any means, but this, I had been purposely praying and hoping not to send, so I kept pushing and pushing and pushing to send that email for advising our family here at Fort Hays that we may be furloughed, that starting at 11:59, and so I walked out and I told these ladies who have been working on this event for months, I said to them, you know, I just don't feel like celebrating. And their face just went white. And one of them, Rogine, said to me, I don't think I can call 376 people between now and 6 o'clock. It's like, no, we're not going to cancel. Because, you know, the celebration was to say thank you to the philanthropists for all of what they do for Fort Hays State. And the reality is that now more than ever, we need the support of our donors. We need the support of our community. We need the support of our alumni. We need the support of our friends. We are who we are because of the generosity of our donors. And regardless of what's going on in the world, we need to stop.
They are
to
literally
say thank you.
The foundation of Fort Hays State.
Absolutely right. And, you know, and it's, yes, you know, we certainly need the funding. We certainly need the gifts, the financial gifts that they share upon us. But it's also the gifts of time. It's also the gifts of kindness. It's also the gifts of support. It's also the gifts of opening a door for that graduate who needs a job or that needs that introduction. You know, there's so much that our people do for Fort Hays State University. And this is the one time of the year that we formally are able to say thank you. And as I said to them, thank you, 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 thank you a billion times. What we have here at Fort Hays is very special. I don't need to tell you. Is second to none. And it's the family of Fort Hays that makes Fort Hays who we are.
While we're in our last couple of minutes, while we're celebrating the good news, Fort Hays State, with the Regent's approval, has the first doctorate degree now.
Yes.
In nursing.
In nursing.
Wonderful, because it's been such a strong program over the years.
It has been. You know, our nursing program, as you said, is one of our programs of distinction at Fort Hays State University. We are very proud to be able to say that 100% of our graduates pass the NCLEX examination the very first time that they take it. And that doesn't happen by accident. That happens because of the commitment of our faculty and our staff to the academic rigor of the program, to ensuring that our students know what it is that is to be a nurse and what it is to practice the profession of nursing. And so, you know, you teach it, but you still have that hurdle to get over. And that hurdle is the culmination of what they've learned, and we do it very well. But the profession is changing, and for us to be able to maintain our competitive advantage in the world, in the state, with nursing, we have to morph as well. And so it's going to a doctor of nurse practitioner. and the Regents approved it in record time, I would say. When I got here last July, I was made aware that the profession was changing, and so under the leadership of the interim provost, Chris Crawford, and the dean of the college, Jeff Briggs, and his faculty and his chair in nursing, we started down the process at the speed of lightning to get this done. And so in less than really 8 months, we have developed a curriculum that is second to none. We had one of the bodies who will be finalizing the approval for this program, and I said to them, I'm very well committed, to launch this program. One, because nursing is a program of distinction, but we're going to go out into the market with this doctorate as a Rolls Royce. We're going to put it out here because that's what the faculty deserve. Our faculty are people of excellence. Our programs are programs of distinction. And we're going to go into the world with our very first doctoral program saying, look what we can do and look what our people of excellence do, and they have done it. So I'm very proud of what our faculty and our staff has achieved to get us to this point.
President Mirta Martin from Fort Hays State University, our community connection.
Thank you.
Angels Care Home Health, serving Hays and the surrounding areas, is a Medicare-certified home health agency providing quality skilled nursing and restorative therapy services to patients in their homes.
There's not any words to describe their kindness.
Angels Care is there to help 24 hours a day, and all services are covered 100% by Medicare for patients who are eligible. Angels Care Home Health. We serve patients.
They saved my life.